Good morning, everyone. This is Pinkie, the housewife, and I'm bringing to you an update from the Florida State University shooting. Okay, I should have brought it to you yesterday, but I had other things going on, and I couldn't have done it before I went to bed. I was too exhausted, so I'm bringing it to you this morning, which is April the 19th, which is on a Saturday morning, and I'm bringing it to you. Okay. Um, as you know, we had two school shootings or pow that week this week, two back to back. Okay. Uh, so I'm bringing this to you so you can know I do follow up. And I mentioned that I will bring you any updates. So here it is. Strack is no, I wouldn't say Strack. It's a difference. Just put it like that. It is a difference of school shootings. Every situation is different, but this one sticks out. Okay, so let me just go ahead and bring in the house rules first before we get started. Before I hope y'all gonna enjoy this Saturday morning. I know I am. So it's not gonna be a long live because I do have somewhere to go. Okay, we're getting ready to go out to eat, and it looks like it's getting ready to rain. So I'm gonna drop this information and be out of here. Okay. So if you're coming in, come on in, and let me just say welcome to the Pink House. Okay. Go ahead and hit that like button if you can so I can stay in the algorithm, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Okay, because I'm almost there at my next goal. So I need everyone to subscribe to the channel. All right. So I can continue to bring you great content. Thank you for being here. All right. So let's go ahead and get on with the matter at hand. Okay. Now, this is an update on the shooting suspect named. And the reason I said named, and I said it in two different, the reason why I'm saying that is two different reasons, okay? This is at Florida State University, okay? But the reason why I said named, because different outlets are spelling, or I don't know, are they spelling his last name differently? Or are they, how should I say? Just don't know what his last name is. Okay. It could be either way. But anyway, we'll see. Okay. Now, this is the thumbnail I had up the very first day it happened. Okay. Watch live shooting at Florida State University. This is the first day I had it up. Okay. And before I had that one, I had, let me show you the others school right quick. Just give me 1 second, guys. And mm, mm, mm. As a as a difference. It's a difference. Okay, I hope this is the correct thumbnail. We're getting ready to find out. Okay. Okay. Here it is. It's live school shooting in Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. Okay. And so that one was at the day before the other one. All right. Oh Lord. The day before the other one. And this suspect was named. Okay. He did have a name. Okay. And we did that video. So his name was Tracy. He's a 17-year-old. He still is a 17-year-old. Tracy Hayes, whatever. But anyway, he turned himself in. Okay. he turned himself in by way of the help of the urban specialist. He turned himself in. Okay, and he's right now sitting on a $600,000 bond. Okay, so that was the school at Wilman Hutchinson in Dallas. Okay, and now we got this person here. Okay, he's the suspect or the shooter for the Florida State University, and his first name is Phoenix. Everybody know. Okay, now his last name, I'm going to say it, but they got it, and people are spelling it different ways. His last name, first name is Phoenix, last name is Eichner. Eichner. So, and Eichner, and some people got it as a Eichner. So that's, and then I did try to pull up a, what is it? The mugshot. When I type in mugshot for him, this is the picture I keep getting. Okay. But nevertheless, I got the information for you. So this is what we're going to be talking about right here. The update, the latest information on the shooting at the Florida State University. All right. So thank you for coming in, Pinkie. Thank you for coming in. Lillian, thank you so much. And welcome to the Pink House. Make sure as you all come in, you go ahead and make sure you hit that like button. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, that would be wonderful. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Okay. Thank you. So this won't be a long video. I mean, a long live. I'm trying to keep it an hour, no more than an hour and a half, to give you all the latest information. Because I got to go out for lunch today. I'm going out for lunch. We're celebrating my birthday again. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with this. With the first video I'm going to bring to you all today. I got 3 short videos. It's 3 short ones. Instead of me doing all this talking, and because of the name difference in the way the situation is being handled, so I decided to bring y'all to the source. Bring the source to you. How about it? How about I say it that way? Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh Lord. We're gonna start from here first. Okay. We're gonna start from let me see, because I got 3 of them I'm going to bring to you. Okay. I'm going to start from here first. And we're going to make our way through this situation. All right. The information from each source will be down in my description box at the bottom. Okay. So here we go, guys. Let me just bring it up. And I do want to say, guys, don't forget, as you all come in, it's very important to go ahead and hit that like button as you coming into the live. All right. Because that was going to help keep me in the algorithm. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start. All the information is going to be in my description box below the video.
Well, today, class is once again canceled at Florida State after police say a student opened fire right next to the student union.
So 2 people have been confirmed dead and 6 others are injured. Tallahassee Memorial says all 6 of those in the hospital are in fair condition right now. Investigators say the 2 people who died were not students at the university. That's all the details we have about them. The alleged shooter was shot by police and is now in the hospital in custody. He is identified as Phoenix Eichner. Investigators say the gunman is the son of a Leon County sheriff's deputy and used her gun during the shooting.
The alleged shooter was also a long-standing member of the Leon County Sheriff's Office Citizen Advisory or Youth Advisory Council. We send a message to folks that this will never be tolerated here in Leon County, and I dare say across this state and across this nation.
We have some new video for you this morning. It shows broken doors left behind after those SWAT teams, they forced their way into locked spaces. Officers, they just went room by room, clearing out those buildings. Right now, though, a memorial is already appearing on that college campus. Students have been coming in, laying down flowers and candles and stuffed animals near one of those scenes.
A vigil is planned for tonight at 5 o'clock. Right now, we want to get to Fox 35's Marie Edinger, who has been following this story since yesterday, and she is live in Tallahassee this morning. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning, Amy. You were just mentioning, along with Stephanie, the memorial that is behind me right now. This is just outside the Student Union, and it's been growing. It happened probably around last night, late into the evening, because we were here until about 11:30, and we saw a bunch of students coming in. It's still growing now. Actually, just a few moments ago, talked with a girl who came by to leave some flowers here. A few others have stopped by as well. None of them have wanted to go on camera, though. A couple of them have been crying. They're still very shaken up by all of this. On the other side of the Student Union, there's a small memorial as well. That's right outside the front of the Student Union, or what would be considered the front, whereas this is the back. Last night, we were able to take a peek through the windows in that area, and we could see just how quickly people left. So on the table still, there were things like laptops and iPads that were still open. It looked like they'd been in use right up until the moment that people had to sprint away when they heard that gunfire start going off. We saw handbags and backpacks and water bottles and just all sorts of things outside the Student Union. Last night, we saw a shoe left behind. This morning, we actually noticed several more. That's in the green outside of the Student Union, people sprinting away so quickly that they just lost their shoes and didn't have time to go back and get them. We also were able to talk with students who lived through this. Some said they barricaded themselves inside classrooms. Some talked about running away. You can hear their experience in their own words.
I just hear gunshots. It was kind of surreal what was happening.
We practiced for it, we trained for it, and it was kind of like, one, just thinking of everything you've learned through years on how to stay safe. And two, if I have to get out of here, what are my ways out of here? If I have to defend myself, how can I defend myself? And just praying and, hoping.
It's something, we'll never get over, but we'll get through it, I guess.
You heard that student there talking about the drills that they go through in grade school, trying to prepare for something like this. We heard several students yesterday saying, sure, they prepared in theory, but they never thought they'd actually live through it.
Did you know you could be owed a major cash payout?
Okay, guys. Okay, that's the first video. All right. Now let me go ahead and get on to the second video here for you. Now, if you notice, that was a lot of information about who the student is, but who the student is and everything, and some reactions on some of the students and everything. And I'm gonna because I'm gonna say the other one for last, but this is NBC, their information on NBC News. All right, and remember, like I said, all this information will be down in my description box below the video. All right, here we go with NBC News on it. Oh, you can see I was watching a little of it. Here we go, guys.
I want to bring in now Reed Siebold, an FSU senior who was there when this shooting happened. Reed, thank you very much for joining us at the end of what I'm sure has been a nightmare of a day for you, of course. Glad you're okay, at least physically. Can you tell us where you were when this shooting began?
For sure. So I was in the Bellamy building, which is catty-cornered to the Student Union. We all of 90 seconds away.
And what happened?
So two people came in. talking about a shooter on campus. And so we immediately locked down. We weren't even supposed to be there for class that day, but we had all come in to work on a group project. And so when they came in, we locked down immediately, locked both doors, turned off the lights, got under our desks. And, we had heard some gunshots. We had also heard our door attempted to be opened a number of times. The first one we had initially thought was the shooter when we were in there. But now seeing that he was taken down at the student union, we don't believe it was him.
Do you think it was maybe law enforcement jiggling the handle, perhaps?
Well, the law enforcement, we know that was the second 2 times, but
Okay.
It could have been law enforcement. It could have also been someone trying to flee for safety. We really don't know.
You were locked down in that room for about an hour. What was going through your mind at that point, Reed?
Yes, ma'am. So, I really just didn't know what was happening initially. Originally, I thought it could have been a prank, and then that was quickly disposed. And so I was texting everybody I loved, letting know that I loved them. I was getting ready to die, which was harrowing.
And still emotional for you now, I can tell.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Talk me through some of that, Reed, because I have to imagine that you grew up in a generation that you practice active shooter drills. You prepared mentally. You've seen, I'm sure, endless coverage, as we have done here on the news, about school shootings here. And then you find yourself in that locked room, the door handle jiggling, and the worst going through your mind. Yeah.
So, like you said, we had practiced active shooter drills in high school. It didn't really happen in college, but we did what we were taught to do. Like I said, we locked down the room, lights off, and doors closed, and we were just doing what we had become normal to do. It became normal to practice having a shooter on campus shooting my peers.
The suspected shooter has been identified by police as an FSU student by the name of Phoenix Eichner. I know it's a big school. Did you happen to know him?
So I spent my first 2 years at Tallahassee, now called Tallahassee State College, but we called it TCC. And I was the president of a political talk group we called the Political Roundtable, and he joined the club when I was at TCC. Basically our only rule was no Nazis, colloquially speaking. And he espoused so much white supremacist rhetoric and far right rhetoric as well, to the point where we had to exercise that rule. I also know he was a member of the TCC Turning Point chapter. And since TCC, I have seen him in passing a couple times. Today, I was talking to a friend who had talked to him yesterday, or 2 days ago, pardon me. And he was talking about how he wasn't ready for exams.
To be clear, Reed, I just want to make sure that folks understand this. So you were a transfer student essentially into FSU, right? So you started the first 2 years in Tallahassee, and that is where you knew Phoenix Eichner, the suspected shooter here. And you say that he was essentially, it sounded like, kicked out of a political club that you were in because of his as you described them, views on white supremacy?
Yes, ma'am. So it wasn't necessarily a formal kicking out, but he was asked not to come back, and was really what had happened was we had, it was a debate back and forth. And after enough times, I mean, he did not feel welcome because he was not welcome with his rhetoric. We allow people of all, beliefs, creeds, whatever. And he somehow found a way to not fit the bill on everyone else.
So what went through your mind, Reed, when you heard that police had identified the suspected shooter in this instance as this individual who you had known for a couple of years?
Initially, pure, unadulterated anger. To think that someone I knew had essentially made me a statistic. To think that I had had conversations with him at a normal level and, person to person. And for it to turn into this, I don't know why he would have done something like this. I don't know where it would have come from, but I'd sure like to find out.
Reed, what's next for you? Are you planning to stay close to campus, go back when it finally does reopen? Are you ready for that?
So all of my stuff is still in the classroom, my iPad, my backpack, all of that.
Okay.
But I had evacuated with some friends and, we got them home all safe, all fed. And I'm just back at home right now with my boyfriend trying to come down from all this adrenaline.
Reed Siebold, I'm grateful to you for sharing some of your experiences here on what is, I know, been a very horrific and difficult day. Thank you very much for your time tonight and for being with us here on NBC News. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Hallie.
Thanks for watching. Stay up.
Okay, guys, that was very insightful. We learned a lot. At least I did. I learned a lot on that one. For him to be kicked out of the that club that he was part of due to his rhetoric. But anyway, for his views, and you can tell what it was leading to. White supremacist views. But anyway, let's go ahead and get down to the last video so y'all can really understand why I feel that this person, now this one is going to be an eye-opener, okay? In a way, I think he's getting special treatment. Yeah, in my opinion, that's the way I feel. Okay? Yes, I said it. And that's my right to have free speech. Because, like I said, in a way, I do. And everything on this channel is covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. All right? For fair use purposes. Okay, such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research, and educational as well. So, okay, let's get down to the next, the last video, and this one is going to bring some more insight for you all. It really is. This is only 8 minutes and 54 seconds, but in that 8 minutes and 54 seconds, you're going to want to hear it. You're going to want to hear it. So go ahead and get you your water, your coffee, your tea, your lemonade, and sit down so we can go ahead and go over this one here. All right. And this one here got some documentation as well that I think you need to hear. Yeah. You all ready? Okay, here we go.
And we are also learning more about the suspected gunman here. Tallahassee police identifying the shooting suspect as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, a student at Florida State University and the stepson of a Leon County Sheriff's Office deputy. At a news conference, Tallahassee's police chief said Eichner declined to talk to law enforcement about the shooting, invoking his Fifth Amendment right. Friday, new reports came out detailing a custody fight reportedly between Eichner's biological mother and dad several years earlier. According to those court documents, when Eichner was 11, 9 years before the Florida State shooting, his biological mother reportedly took him to Norway, which was a violation of the custody agreement. According to that complaint, the mom allegedly said that she and Eichner were going to South Florida, but then fled to Norway, where she reportedly had dual citizenship. Eichner's dad sent texts and emails to the mother asking when she would return with their son, but reportedly would get vague replies. That's according to that complaint. A judge found there was probable cause that the mother had violated that custody agreement. In the complaint, Eichner's dad reportedly expressed concern that their son suffered from, quote, developmental delays and, quote, has special needs that would not be taken care of unless he was in the U.S. It also alleged that Eichner suffers from ADHD. Records show that a judge ordered the mom to return to the U.S. with Eichner and threatened to give the father sole custody. That case ended with a plea agreement. Again, that is according to records, which you can see right there on the right-hand side of your screen. Months later, Eichner's mother filed a slander lawsuit against Eichner's father and wife. That lawsuit dismissed. It does not appear that either family member has publicly commented on that 2015 investigation, the lawsuit, or the shooting itself. Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revels said Eichner used a handgun in the alleged shooting and that he also had a shotgun with him, though it was not clear if he had actually fired that weapon. Again, this investigation is ongoing. The police chief there saying he does not know of a possible motive just yet. In the meantime, I do want to get to some of the other big stories as we continue our coverage here of the shooting on the Florida State University campus that killed 2 people and wounded 6 others. Now, we know that alerts were sent out to students on the campus within about a minute of those first gunshots, including posts all over social media. I do want to talk a little bit more about the response overall. So let's bring in Gina Rofero, the president and CEO of SaferWatch. Now, that is a safety technology company used across schools, police departments, and public spaces. Gino, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, first off, I do want to ask you, we're talking about Florida State University, located in the state capital of Florida, a very large campus there. What kind of issues, what kind of problems exist when you're talking about such a large campus?
Right. So obviously with large campuses like FSU, right, you have all different response protocols that are going to be in place. But sometimes it makes it difficult to pinpoint exactly where an incident's happening and exactly how to respond to that incident. And more importantly, how do we notify everyone on that campus, right? So it's a little bit easier to notify people in a single building or a individual school. But how do we notify everyone on a large campus? How do we interact with parents and teachers and staff all at the same time while these emergencies are taking place? And I think we kind of saw that a little bit of a communication breakdown, right? During these major incidents that happen, people are always wondering what's going on. Parents are asking what's happening. And it's so important to have these communication tools to keep people updated in real time.
On that same note, did want to ask you, social media, communication in general, again, you discussed this, but how does all of that make it maybe a little more difficult when you're talking about moments after the shooting happens? You have folks that are posting all over things like X or Twitter, depending what you call it, Facebook, Instagram, and only a percentage of that is accurate information.
Right. So during these situations, people are searching for information, right? We're all wondering what's happening. And it unfortunately boils down to a lot of unofficial information that's being spread.
Let me just say this. I disagree with what Mr. Mann just said. Misinformation. Sometimes people are expressing, a lot of people that are putting out information is people that just got through running for their lives. They're putting out, I'm just saying a lot of people are putting out information that they just went through. They're the ones that was running for their lives or hiding in a classroom or bolted themselves behind doors somewhere. Got somewhere hidden away in the school, afraid to move out of the spot where they were. So, running with one shoe on because they lost the other shoe while they was running because they left all their belongings, their backpack, everything that they had inside that school in that classroom or on that desk or wherever they left it, or hiding inside one of the classrooms still, or if they wasn't hiding in a classroom, they were hiding somewhere or in a dorm room of and bolted themselves in their own dorm room because they're afraid to come out, because you don't know whether he's in a dorm room or walking around a classroom or walking around on the campus powering people. You don't know. So you don't know what you may run up on running around a corner. So misinformation, sometimes I think they put out misinformation. And when I say they, sometimes I mean Fox News sometimes put out misinformation to confuse people sometimes. So I said that. But anyway, now you heard his name is Phoenix Eichner. Some people are spelling it Ikner, and some people are spelling it Eichner. Those are the two different spellings. And I did pull up for looking for a mugshot. When I normally you can type in mugshot and you pull it right up. But when I type in mugshot, I keep getting the same information, that picture, this picture of him right here. But nevertheless, that's him. And I'm sorry to say that it's reported that he suffered from or have a illness, ADHD. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional or anything, or a nurse or anything, so or a psychiatrist or anything. I'm just a housewife. So I'm going to leave it at that. And one report is saying that he always he was in this club. The media sure do treat differently from the black innocent teens. Yeah. Yep. You're right. Thank you, BT. But anyway, now if I can drop my link, let me just go ahead and drop it because we're not going to be here long. Because, like I said, I do have, I'm just been here for about an hour, no longer than an hour and 30 minutes, because I do have, I am going out to eat. We're celebrating because, this is my birthday month, April. So I am celebrating. I dropped my link if anybody want to come up. I did. We're celebrating another part of my birthday again today, because remember, I couldn't go out to eat for my birthday because I had my procedure done. I think it was 2 days before my birthday. Yeah. On the 4th. Yeah. 2 days before my birthday. So that's why I'm going to go out to eat today. Okay. Excuse me, when they commit crimes. Yes, I understand, BT. But anyway, okay. I'm bringing you up, BT. Okay. Just take this this picture down.
Hey.
Good morning. You looking all pretty. Your hair.
Listen, if you hear a lot of noise, that's because I'm sitting up here at the shop at my ex-husband's shop. So
Okay, tell him I said hi.
Oh, he got some customers right now, but I'll tell him.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, this is quite interesting. I just did the Kamala Anthony story, and it sure is different with how the media report and treat these people differently.
Yeah, they do.
So now they're making excuses for saying that the guy maybe has some kind of mental health problem.
ADHD.
Where's
They
that was?
said he suffered from ADHD. I don't really know what much about it though.
Well, I'd never known nobody to commit crime because with ADHD, but they'll make excuses for their own, So let's
And then
say, did
forget
anybody
about the
die?
custody and stuff because just 11 years before that, before the shooting, his mother and father was fighting for custody of him, and his mother they claimed she kidnapped him and took him to, I think it's Norway. Yeah. So they're trying to bring up everything else, but what he did it for. Why? And he even not talking, he ain't talking, but he's the son of a deputy sheriff, a deputy sheriff. So it's almost like we ain't gonna put out too much on him, but everybody else they put out everything on you.
Thank you, thank you. So I gotta go now, but I just want to come drop in to give you my support, and I'm finna ride on down the road.
Okay, you go riding on down the road and you be safe, okay?
Okay, I want to ask you, how many did anybody was unalive during this shooting? Because I'm not haven't.
Yes, yes. It was 6 people that was shot during this encounter, during this situation. It was 6 people. Uh 2 people is unalive now. They no longer here out of the 6. And we got 4 more that's left. I know she just dropped down. She probably can still hear me, but we got 4 more left. So that's recovering.
Hey, I'm gone. I see you so
Okay.
much.
All right. Tell your husband,
All
ex-husband,
right.
I said hi.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hey.
All right, guys. That was Black Titanic. She couldn't stay long because she's at her ex-husband's business, his shop, and everything. Okay, but she that is true. The way I'm seeing it, um, in my opinion, it is a difference of the way he's being treated. Because you don't hear much. It's like it was all over the place when it came to this young man here. I was able to just pull up a mug shot like that once he turned himself in. And he did the right thing to turn himself in. You know, um, it was 4 people um, shot during his incident, where this one had 6 people shot. And do I think it's a difference of opinion? Yes. I mean, treatment? Yes. Just because he's a son of a deputy, son of Leon County Sheriff Department, a son, what that got to do with it? Wrong is wrong. You committed a gruesome crime. 2 people are unalive now, and you still got 4 more. That's one of them still being treated, still fighting for their life. Then you got thousands of students that are traumatized, or hundreds of thousands. I don't know how many may be traumatized, but I'm quite sure it's a lot of them. Okay. Thank you, BT. So do I think this he need to be treated the same? Yes. He need to be treated the same. Guys, make sure you all hit that like button coming in. I would duly appreciate that. But like I said, it's not going to be a long live because I am celebrating my birthday today. Okay. And I just want to make sure that you all know that I want to make this update on this, just like I made the update on the William Hutchinson High School in Dallas, Texas. Both of these was committed a day. First, it was the William Hutchinson School. where 4 people ended up shot, and then one suffering for anxiety related issues. And then you got this one the following day, which is at Florida State University. And seems like, in my opinion, he is being protected by the sheriff department because he's the son of one of the sheriff deputies. I want to see the same treatment. I want to see the same information being out. I don't get that. I'm not getting that. So why? Why am I not getting that? They bring up they bring up the fact that mom and dad is being divorced and this and that. Okay, I can understand that. But I'm quite sure in that other student's household or life, there was things that's going on in his life too. That doesn't mean a person needs to bring out a big pow and be ready to take down other people. What if they felt that he was unstable? Why would you let him have access to the mom? Well, I'm not going to say the mama, but the sheriff, the person. This is the person that owned the pow. He used the sheriff deputy, whether it's his mama or dad, that's the deputy. He used their gun, their pow. But instead, they want to bring up 11 years ago, showing that Anne Marie, it's spelled, so the first spelling is wrong. It's not spelled I with the I, it's spelled with an E. I see it on the thing. It's Eriksen, and that's his mom, which is Anne Marie Eichner. Oh, I'm glad it's right on the docs, on the court docs. Anne Marie Eichner. This is in relation to the fighting for custody of the son and the father wanting the mother to bring the son back from Norway. I'm quite sure it said Norway. Okay? Because they was fighting for custody of him. But a lot of parents are being divorced or fighting for custody of their child. And this was defendant was charged by an amendment information on December 11, 2008, with 3 counts of removing a minor contrary to section, whatever that section is. But on May 26, 2016, the defendant entered into a negotiation plea to count 3, removing a minor child from the state, failure to return minor back to the state of Florida. Okay. So so that was on May 26, 2016. Okay. But the defendant was charged by amendment. Charged by amendment information on December 11, 2008 with 3 counts of removing a minor out of the country. Okay. So guys, they're trying to use every excuse in the book. And I guess, in my opinion, so when it comes down to his charges, or if you know there's going to be some sentences, he's going to be sentenced some kind of way. But let's not use mom and daddy fighting over the custody. Let's not use, because he had a mental, not a mental, he was he had ADHD. Let's not use that. He's old enough to know what he was doing, just like he was old enough to knew what he was doing when he was in that club at school club, where he kept spewing out racist information. He's smart enough to go to college. He's smart enough to know what he was doing, spewing out and learning all this other information, and they keep bringing it up when they asked him not to, and he got removed or kicked out of the club. So yeah, man, don't nobody want to hear that. So let's not that be a reason for him not to be held accountable for his actions. He's a grown man. Let's not treat him like he's a minor. He's not that same kid from May 26, 2016. He is not that same kid from December 11th to 2008. He is not that same kid. He's a grown man now. So we're going to treat him like a grown man and not hide him under the Leon County Sheriff Department, because a family member is a deputy. Let's not do that. Okay. I'm just speaking my mind, guys. All right. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I wasn't going to keep this long. I just want to make sure I bring up that information to you, give you an update. We're not going to, I'm going to keep track of this story, because I don't want them to use his mental history or the fact that they say his mother kidnapped him and took him away out of Florida. Okay? So I'm just speaking. And like I said, everybody have a opinion, and I have an opinion too. Yours may be different than mine, but we agree to disagree. Okay? But I'm still going to bring you any updates on this story, any more information I get on this story. And let me just say, I do plan on going live tonight, guys. If you can hear this, I will be going live tonight. All right. All right. We're going to go ahead and end it there. And whew, this was enough for me. And let me just tell you, well, that's okay. Thank you, guys. Make sure y'all hit that like button going out of here. I would appreciate it. If you don't know what that like button looks like, just do this here. Just hit this thing here. And then go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I'm almost there. I do want to thank everybody. All right. So let's go ahead and end it now. Thank you all, and you all have a wonderful day.